Let us unite, let us unite. Everybody singing this melody. Let us unite, let us unite. That's the only way we all can be free. Let us unite, let us unite. Everybody joining this sweet refrain. Let us unite, let us unite. Nothing to lose with so much to gain.
Abraham gave birth to you, Muslim, Christian, and Hebrew. What caused the family to feud? Satan was at the root. 4 and 3 make 7. Also 5 and 2. One great universal truth, but many different point of view.
Let us unite, let us unite. Everybody singing this melody. Let us unite, let us unite. That's the only way we all can be free. Let us unite, let us unite. Everybody joining this sweet refrain. Let us unite, let us unite. Nothing to lose with so much to gain.
Unity has something start with you and I. Let's work it out together, you and I. Cause love is a thing you can't beg, neither borrow. No deficit, there will be more tomorrow. Take a big man to put difference aside. What a calamity when the difference collide. Every man self-righteous, don't be so shallow. Every man trust in the path that they follow.
Let us unite, let us unite. Everybody joining this sweet refrain. Let us unite, let us unite. Nothing to lose with so much to gain.
Abraham turning in his grave, seeing how the children behave, fighting and killing each other, denying the connection as brother, all waiting for the Messiah to pull the family together. But what will he require to keep them out of the judgment fire? We must unite in truth and do justice, practice righteousness. Then God's kingdom will come, and this wicked world will be done. We must unite the tribes in Ghana, Guinea, Mali, Nigeria, and Nkrumah's vision lights the world over, from Cape to Cairo, one Africa.
Too much division make a good thing spoil. Families are lost over land and oil. Then the want for revenge starts casting a shadow. Some try to forgive, but it's a hard pill to swallow. Love sin a go on the sacred side. Please say a prayer for the woman and child, and unite today so they can still have tomorrow. When fate separates us, it leads on to sorrow.
Let us unite, let us unite. Everybody singing this melody. Let us unite, let us unite. That's the only way we all can be free. Let us unite, let us unite. Everybody joining this sweet refrain. Let us unite, let us unite. Nothing to lose with so much to gain. Let us unite, let us unite. Everybody singing this melody. Let us unite, let us unite. That's the only way we all can be free. Let us unite, let us unite. Everybody joining this sweet refrain. Let us unite, let us unite. Nothing to lose with so much to gain.
Abraham gave birth to you, Muslim, Christian, and Hebrew. What caused the family to feud? Satan was at the root. 4 and 3 make 7. Also 5 and 2. One great universal truth, but many different point of view.
Let us unite, let us unite. Everybody singing this melody. Let us unite, let us unite. That's the only way we all can be free. Let us unite, let us unite. Everybody joining this sweet refrain. Let us unite, let us unite. Nothing to lose with so much to gain.
Unity has something start with you and I. Let's work it out together, you and I, cause love is a thing you can't beg, neither borrow. No deficit, there will be more tomorrow. Take a big man to put difference aside. What a calamity when the difference collide. Every man self-righteous, don't be so shallow. Every man trust in the path that they
Let us
follow.
unite, let us unite. Everybody join in this secret fray. Let us unite, let us unite. Nothing to lose with so much to gain.
Abraham turning in his grave, seeing how the children behave, fighting and killing each other, denying the connection as brother, all waiting for the Messiah to pull the family together. But what will he require to keep them out of the judgment fire? We must unite in truth and do justice, practice righteousness. Then God's kingdom will come, and this wicked world will be done. We must unite the tribes in Ghana, Guinea, Mali, Nigeria, and Nkrumah's vision lights the world over, from Cape to Cairo, one Africa.
Too much division make a good thing spoil. Families are lost over land and isle. Then the want for revenge starts casting a shadow. Some try to forgive, but it's a hard pill to swallow. Love sin a go on the sacred style. Please say a prayer for the woman and child, and unite today so they can still have tomorrow. When fate separates us, it leads on to
Let
sorrow.
us unite, let us unite. Everybody singing this melody. Let us unite, let us unite. That's the only way we all can be free. Let us unite, let us unite. Everybody join in this secret fray. Let us unite, let us unite. Nothing to lose with so much to gain.
How about now? Can you hear me now? I apologize. I just saw the comment. Okay, so welcome. I wasn't saying much there, so I was just rambling, I guess. But what I was encouraging you to do is welcome to the opportunity to share with you. I always intend to have something meaningful to say when I do come before you, and I appreciate you coming back after this. Still no sound? Okay, thank you. I appreciate you coming back after this early morning discussion. It says a lot for people when something like classes in session 8 a.m. every day, 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday, and then for you to come back and join us again this afternoon. I'm deeply grateful to the opportunity to share with you. And it went so well yesterday, and I was still so full, and even more full this morning. So I decided to share with you a little bit today, and I promise that I will strive to only come before you when I believe it's something worthy of your time and consideration, because we are absolutely eternally grateful for your assistance. www.run2wealth.info. That's the number 2. www.run2wealth.info is my webpage, and that webpage includes the conference that we did this past weekend, the 2020 Paper to Gold Run to Wealth Conference. It is there, and you also find other videos related to Carabal's International, this opportunity. You also find a link there that will allow you to learn more about the opportunity and join on as an affiliate if no one else has approached you about it. If you learned it through me and you want to find out more about the opportunity, then you're welcome to go there. By all means, we encourage everyone to go back to the one who introduced the opportunity to you, first and foremost, because we all work together. Okay. And so I'm very grateful and honored to have the opportunity with you. So again, www.run2wealth.info. And I'm particularly interested in you joining our VIP mailing list there. There's a mailing list that you can register for information related to everything that we push out in Wealth Builders. I will probably push out to them more than likely that those things that aren't proprietary. Got it. And anything else I think that might be meaningful to what you do or other fellow wealth builders do in terms of events and programs and things of that nature. Okay. So I want to talk to you about success. This conversation was introduced to me through a definition given to us by Mr. Tyrone Best, our CEO and founder of Wealth Builders Worldwide. And in that discussion, he borrowed from the book that he just received of Jim Rohn, and it was called, not called, but it was a definition there for success. And success was defined as the study of the obvious. Success is the study of the obvious. And that, for me, family, literally blew my mind, because I'm into the simplicity of everything, as our leadership has always encouraged, because simplicity will yield the proper results. Simplicity is duplicatable. Simplicity will lead to wealth. And when someone can understand a thing, it makes all the difference in the world in how we move and how we maneuver. But in order to understand, we must keep things simple. We must make it palatable, and we must make it digestible. So I have a couple of notes that I've been taking over the last few days that I thought were poignant or relative to this discussion. So when we talk about success, how do you define it? How do you personally define success? And it really relates more to being a student, because you have to study it itself. So I look to a book of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, quoting him from his book, Closing the Gap. If you cannot see the screen, I'm going to read it out to you. But basically, he speaks of the role of a student. And he's speaking to his believing community. He says, I wish that every believer could see me in the role of a student. They always see me in the role as a teacher, but you can never be a good teacher unless you become a good student. And you can never be a good leader unless you become a good follower. End of quote. And that's excerpted from his book, Closing the Gap. And that can be found at www.store.finalcall.com. Okay, www.store.finalcall.com. And the book is entitled Closing the Gap. All right. And that's the challenge of all of us as wealth builders, as servant leaders. we seek to close the gaps. And the ones that we're seeking primarily in our work, in our genre of work, is the sealing of the wealth gap. The wealth gap is a tremendous scourge in society because we don't have the power or the leverage in our homes like we should or as we should. And this is a very difficult and challenging ordeal because you'll find 99% of all your problems in a household are strictly related to economics. What you cannot handle with your dollar. And the frustrations and the tensions and the things that mount from it, more times than not, we don't know the source of our frustrations or tensions. So you find broken homes, you find families breaking up, you find children frustrated with what they cannot have, and much of it has a lot to do with the lack in society. I'm trying to adjust this chair as I talk to you because it keeps rocking on me. I think my children are trying to get me to go to sleep. So 99% of our issues, I really believe wholeheartedly, are economic. Now, it does not mean that we don't have other issues that take charge. And I'm not talking about the greater role of society. I'm talking about what we control in our household. Think about it. When you come into your home, you can control all the movement. You control all the activity. You control what's cooked, what's cleaned, what's stored. You control what you shopped for, your furnishings, right? You control how you regulate the water, the utilities, what, how you feed yourselves. All that is controlled. But when it comes down to economy, you have to leave your home to produce it. And depending on how much you need determines how long you stay away from home. So in short, we sell time for money. Now, jobs used to be something that were necessary in society, and I still purport that there are necessities for jobs, for employment. However, they were never, ever meant to be permanent. Never. Jobs were designed in economies, in nations, to contribute to economy, but it was designed where one person worked and everyone else was able to stay home. The children can function and go to school and learn a craft or learn a skill set. The spouse or significant other can maintain the household, but it only required one person working. We showed a video presentation yesterday from the late Big Dan Geromo, known as Big Boomer, and he talked about a couple of decades ago. He talked about the 50s, and in 51, he used as an example. And in 1952, generations before, so 2 generations before, 1951, he talked about how a single-parented household, not a single parent, a single working household, meaning one person working in the household was enough to handle a family of 4, the family of 6. And that one income handled everything. It handled the utilities, it handled the mortgage, it handled the college tuitions, it handled the groceries, it handled transportation. It handled everything because there was something backing the dollar, and it leveraged the economy in the home, and a job then was performing its meaningful task. The reward of having the job was a significant income that grew. It also meant that you had the power of the income where it only required one person working. And in addition, it also meant that you had something you can retire on and create generational wealth on one income. You could do all that with the backing of the income with an asset. So the piece of paper, the dollar, was representative of the asset that backed it in the 50s, in the 40s, in the 30s, in the 60s, up to 71, until the gold and silver standards were abolished. Well, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that America and England had sealed their doom when they came off the gold and silver standards. He gave that to us in a book published in 1973 known as Fall of America. And it's chapter 20, The Decline of the Dollar, and very specific. And it dealt with 100% inflation and how it can blossom into things unparalleled and unexplained. It was so bad to know that this doom was in place that he could not see how bad it would get, but he knew it was horrific. And he did not have an answer for it other than the fact that you need gold as your medium of exchange. You need silver as a medium of exchange. These were the commandments of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad in Fall of America. In 1961, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, this is a history that we've been made available to. He sat at the breakfast table with the messenger for coffee. And Minister Farrakhan told us and told the audience that Mr. Muhammad pulled out a gold coin. It was 1 ounce in weight. And he told him, as he put it on the table, he said, brother, one day soon, this will be the new medium of exchange. And the medium of exchange that he was pointing to was gold. And gold at that time was $35 an ounce. Fast forward to 2016, we're in Nashville, Tennessee, and we're speaking at a conference entitled Business is Warfare, where before the discussion, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan had some of his aides go out and acquire for him a 1 ounce gold coin. He said he wanted to make a point. And when he got to the audience, he pulled out the gold coin. And he compared the gold coin to the paper. He said that the paper was monopoly money. It wasn't real money. It was trash. And he held up the coin. He also held up a silver coin. But he made a point with his gold coin. At that time, it cost 2016 now. It cost $1,237 for that ounce of gold. The same ounce of gold that was $35 an ounce in 1961, all the way through the 70s almost. When I came to Caribou's International 2 years later in 2018, it'll be 2 years, as a matter of fact, September 29th, almost a month from today. When I came to Caribou's International and my wife and I began saving in gold by exchanging our declining paper dollars for gold, well, gold was roughly $11.70 to $11.75 an ounce. It fluctuated here and there. But last week and the week before, gold was hitting highs of $2,050 an ounce. What that meant, family, for every ounce of gold that any of us saved from the time they came to Caribou's to now, made anywhere from $900 to thousands of dollars an ounce. And what did we do but acquire the gold and hold it? No, we didn't liquidate it. No, we didn't have to barter it for exchange. No, we didn't have to do anything but hold it, and we earned money on the value it grew to. We secured it, first of all, with a declining paper dollar. And we learned to live within the worth and the value of the things we acquire. That's a wealth building aspect, and it's a wealth building principle. The wealth building principle is you pay yourself first, not last. Okay. So the role of a student is vital, because in the role of a student, you understand the science and the need for study. Studying, when we say success is the study of the obvious, what do I mean? Well, the obvious is that which is apparent, in your face, can't be questioned, a matter of fact. And when we want to be a thing, we normally have to apply ourselves to something that lends toward that idea. If I want to be a violinist and I've never played the violin at any point in my life, who do you think I need to learn from? I need to learn from a violinist. If I want to be a botanist, okay, and I want to understand the science of flowers and how they pollinate and cross-pollinate and how they fill the air with fragrance and blooms, and when I want to learn all this kind of stuff, who do I go to? Do I go to a football player to learn botany? Do I go to a hip-hop artist? Do I go to an actor or actress? Do I go to those things that we're normally pointed to, where we're not made to study the appropriate thing? So I use this often. I say, if you want to be happy, then you need to study happiness. If you want to be wealthy, then you study wealth. When I learned about this opportunity in Caraballs International, I understood the power of gold. I understood it over time. I didn't know it in immediate, but it made sense to me. So I jumped in a leap of faith. Faith. All right. I learned in the leap of faith. So learning in the leap of faith allowed me to earn as I learned. How? Because I was saving gold. So I was already earning, and I was encouraging others to do the same. So I began earning a residual income 5 times a month. All right. I earned a residual income from those who did as I did, which was to get a free gold savings account and save gold. And you earn a commission off of that aspect alone on a monthly basis. Then I got wise. And I acquired a package because my wife was making so much money. It was insane. She had a business package. And I was going out with her referral link. And I call myself being supportive of her and appreciative of her bringing the opportunity to me. And I go out and I tell everybody. I took massive action, didn't even know what it was by terminology. And in taking that massive action, she ended up with 8 VIP. The first 12 people that signed up with her in that week and a half were VIPs. I said, oh, I got to get me a package. This is how this thing works. So I acquired a package. So now I was no longer in the realm of earning once a month. Now I was open to earning 5 times a month. The monthly commission savings, which is one option, and then the business package that allowed me to earn from a business opportunity known as the dual system. And everything is optional. The one-time out-of-pocket cost was the only time I came out of my pocket for anything. Because the gold, the saving in gold, the commissions earned from other people saving in gold, and the commissions earned from people acquiring packages, gold, or other products in Caraballs International yield me a residual income where I utilize the commissions to further my saving in gold. So I only came out of my pocket one time, and that money came back in, if I'm not mistaken, in probably about 9 days. I'm sharing this because I was making money at a point strictly out of faith and not knowing. And it was easy to do. It was easy to join on and easy to figure it out. Why? Because it was free to join. So I joined. I got my free gold savings account, right? And then I got busy with what I understood or what I believed. And then the success began to show itself. Now I wanted to hone in on the success. Now I wanted to understand it better. Now I wanted to understand more. So what did I do? I did those things that were duplicatable. Well, how do you do the things that are duplicatable? You have to follow people that are doing in order to know what is duplicatable. See, language is a powerful thing, but language isn't only in what you say, what you espouse, right? Language isn't only in what you read. Language is also in what you do. Activity speaks a whole nother language because activity yields results. And as you see the results, then you know exactly what to do. That's right, Sister Maui, is called a MAP. M-A-P. That's an acronym. It stands for Massive Action Plan. Massive Action Plan, MAP. That's the science of the wealth builder's technique because we have a business model. Our business model is just as simple as the acronym MAP. Our business model is STM. Save gold, tell people, make money. It's just that simple. How you do it, how do you apply yourself effectively and efficiently is where the map comes in. Because everybody needs a map. Everybody needs a sense of direction. Everybody needs to know where they're going as hence from where they are, you know. So the study of the obvious for me was to study those who have been successful in the opportunity. And this is where many of us fall short because we don't want to submit to other people. We want to come with our ideas. And ideas have their place, when they're in the right arena. But again, if you've never been wealthy and you desire to be wealthy, you study wealth. You study the principles that are associated with it. You study the people who introduced it to you, and you study their activity. Why? Because they're the ones in front of you. They are wealthy. In the world of Karatbars International, our wealth building worldwide leadership, Mr. Ty and Mrs. Valerie Best, 37 years network marketers in the Network Marketing Hall of Fame. They're gold directors elites in Karatbars International. They're 4-time authors. And they were free from corporate America when this opportunity was introduced to them. They were already somewhat semi-retired. Mrs. Best hadn't worked in 37 years for anyone. The last time she had a job, Ronald Wilson Reagan was president. Mr. Best has been free as of July 14th this past month, 25 years, folks, a quarter of a century. Here's another kicker. Their children, their 2 sons, one 21, the other 36, has never, ever applied for a job. And it'd be like Trivia Pursuit if you asked them what their social security numbers were. They don't know. That one household has over 100 years of freedom under that roof. It's a whole different lifestyle because it's a whole different mindset. It's a whole different mindset because it was gleaned from years of trial, error, and experience. Some of it, the experience of others, much of it, the experience themselves. However, it was the study of the obvious. They stayed in front of the fray. They stayed in front, ahead of the naysayers, ahead of the doubters, ahead of the ridicule, ahead of the mock, ahead of the condemnation, and they focused with a laser focus on those that were successful in front of them because they were in pursuit of their dreams. They had a why in their mind, and they got busy. And so today, we are a part of that unique success story. How is it that we're a part of it? That's their success. No, it's everyone's success because they're willing to share those tenets with everyone else because they do understand the power of servant leadership. You cannot be truly successful if you're not working to help and assist others. You learn over time that the money we earn is a simple byproduct of the service of the people. I come from the home, the womb, the loins of a revolutionary, or revolutionaries. And one thing my father always said, he said, if you serve your people, the people will never let you down. I've traveled many places in the world with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I've traveled many places in the world with Kwame Ture, Stokely Carmichael. And you know what I've learned? Over time, I've learned all those things are true. Here's the power of it. I'm traveling into countries, cities, places. I'm sitting with presidents. I'm sitting with kings. I'm sitting with rulers. I'm sitting with chiefs. I'm sitting with rabatas and mullahs, right? And when it came down to the finances to make all that happen, it never came from my pocket. It came from being befriended as a result of others befriending the service and the legacy of those men. So when I was invited to assist with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan on behalf of the Final Call newspaper, I traveled at that pleasure. I received gifts from around the world. I received friendships from around the world that I was never under any other impression other than the fact that those were his friends, and my job was to keep them for him. I never offended. I never reached out and looked to them for work. I never reached out for any personal gratification, because they were not my friends that way. They were his, and I am his servant. You see? My father traveled all over the world, and I went many places in the latter years of his life as an assistant to him. And I was very clear that all the friendships that I enjoyed, they were a result of his labor. And I never abused it by God's grace. I never tried to take advantage of it by God's grace. And this is truthfully why I believe that God has allowed me to be a part of Carabal's International. Because now I'm being rewarded for confining myself to the labor. Well, when you see the success of people serving people, you learn that the money is the byproduct of the service. As a result, the wealth, the lifestyle becomes a byproduct of the service. As a result, it is the perfect example of success because it was obvious to study. And out of that obviousness, is that a word? Obviousness? We'll use it today. Out of that clear observation, I did as my leaders did before me, and that's what I do now. So one of the main things that I gained from our wealth building family, the leadership in front of me, is consistency. Consistency. I'm not talking about what you see me do on screen. I'm talking more so about what I do away from the screen. See, what we're sharing right now is not necessarily an asset producing activity or an income producing activity. What I do away from the screen is the income producing activity. This is why you see all the success popping up on my social media platforms, congratulating this man and this young woman and this one and that one multiple times every day for joining on to the wealth building family or acquiring a package or saving in gold or looking to develop generational wealth. Every day it has been this way for particularly the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, because of a routine of consistency, a routine mainly of commitment. So we had a subject matter this morning in class and study. Are you committed or are you interested? If you're interested in the opportunity, you'll look at it. If you're interested in the opportunity, you'll explore aspects of it. You may even join. And there are 3 major things associated with the Massive Action Plan, but you might only do one of them, or you might do 2 of them, or you might interchange between the 3 that are there, but you won't do all of them. That's not commitment. That's interest. That's interest. Sorry. That's what it is. We say we're wealth building. However, wealth building is an action. It's activity. You have to literally be doing that. You have to be building. It's denoting action. Wealth building. Well, how do you do it? You study the obvious. What do you study in the obvious? You study the language. What do you study in the language? You study the language of activity. And you study the language of posture. Before I came to Wealth Builders, I didn't know I was such a swearer. I swore like a sailor. I mean, I was cussing all the time. I didn't even know it because it wasn't part of the environment. Now, that's not the part of the environment of the Nation of Islam either. I found myself working more in the street and around different activities and going out and doing not menial tasks. They were very important on behalf of the paper and other things, but you come across all kind of dialects. You come across all kind of languages. Mainly, you come across all kind of frustration, and you use other 4-letter words, other 5-letter words. You find these other terminologies you use to get your point across when you divorce yourself from a circle that speaks in another posture. When I came to Wealth Builders, I was reminded of better language. I was reminded of civility. I thought I was civil. Yes, I'm nice. I'm a mannerable person. I really believe that. I believe I was that when I came to Wealth Builders Worldwide. However, when you're around a collective of people who are careful about their language, who do the obvious and study, it creates a whole nother posture. Yeah. So the language of activity. I talk to 100 people per day, inviting them to the opportunity. And I don't use a lot of time doing it. It's very simple. I'll pick up the phone and say, hey, Deb Nixon, it's Eric Ture Muhammad. Look, I know you're busy, but I want to show this video to you. If I send you this video, will you look at it? I'll call you back in 20 minutes. It's only 8 minutes long. Great. I'll call you back at 10 o'clock. Hang up, go to the next person. Say the same thing almost. I'll call you back at 10:45. Hang up, go back to the next person. Say the same thing. Great. I'll call you back at 2 o'clock. Hang up. Next, go to the next person. You're not interested? Okay, fine. Thank you. You're not interested? That's fine. No problem. You're not interested? Fine. No problem. Thank you anyway. Hey, good talking with you. Thank you. I understand. Appreciate it. Thank you anyway. Hang up and keep moving. And I do that all day. What happens? 20 people out of every 100 will respond positively. 20 people out of every 100 will say yes. 5 of them will join you in the opportunity. They'll literally sign up. And 2 will come on and be absolute rock stars. I mean, they'll make your work look like child's play. And that's why there's 2,000 plus members in my organization, because of that formula. See, commitment allows you to outrun the no's. Interested parties, you're running to no's and maybes all the time. And you think there's no end to that effort. But see, truthfully, math doesn't lie. You can lie on math all day long, but math does not lie. The more you apply yourself, the more the no's get out the way. The more the no's get out the way, the closer you get to the yes. And inside those yeses, there are at least 2 of the 5 that you don't have to tell them anything. You're just doing it as a matter of exercise because they're on fire. I believe wholeheartedly that Wealth Builders Worldwide will be exactly where Mr. Best says he believes it'll be. He believes there'll be 1 million people in Wealth Builders Worldwide by the end of the year. I believe I can have 100,000 under me. What about you? Go for it. A couple of points and then we're going to end. I appreciate this time to discuss with you. Hey, Brother Stephen, I need your number, Brother Steve Broughton. I need your number, brother. I thought I had it. I couldn't find it, but I need your number because I want to send something to you. So if you could text it to me, I'd appreciate it. Or if you go to www.runtowealth.info, if someone can please include that in the comments in the chat. So Brother Steve, or any of you, go to www.runtowealth.info and join the email list right there. Just join the email list so I can reach out to you directly. I'll give you my direct contacts. We'll get some things going and we'll help you grow your teams. But more importantly, we'll help you understand the power of your future in God's money. All right. A couple of factors. Define your goals. Get you a book. I have so many books, all of them are for certain things, but get you a book, right? A journal. Get you a book and write down your goal. Write down your financial goal. Write down your goals for health. Write down your goals for relationships. Write down your goals for self. Take one in each category. Keep it simple. Take one in each category. Financial, health, relationships, self. And pull one goal out of each category. Then you're going to attach 3 questions to it. First question, what do I need to learn? What do I need to do is the second. And the last, when do I need to have it done by? what do I need to learn? What do I need to do? And the last, when do I need to have it done by? Those are 3 questions that you're asking yourself. Those questions written will allow you to really propel moving forward. It allows you to do it because it's in front of you. It's not something you're leaving subject to the phone. It's not something you're leaving subject to chance, your memory. Your memory will fail you. It's not that it's not there, but we have not trained our minds in the power of recall. So write it down. When we make our lists, when we write down notes, we're literally making contracts with ourselves. We're making conscientious contracts with ourselves, stating what? Say, I'm going to do a thing. When I write, my wife and I shared office. So on the other side, you see all those degrees back there, you know that's hers because I ain't got it. You heard me say ain't, so you know I ain't got it. Okay. But on the other side of the office, I'm sorry, that side. Nope. There we go. That side of the office. Okay. I have dry erase boards. I have index cards posted. I have goals and dreams posted all around them. I have reminders written. All of these things are contracts. They're contracts. You know, why are those contracts there? Because I'm committing myself to go all in, to go all the way, to make it happen in the way that it needs to happen. Why? Because at the end of every day, it's not about what you say. That's only part of the language. It has to be related to what you do. So the study of the obvious, when I look at the success of others before me, and it's so apparent, why not do it? Hey, here's the opportunity to save in gold. It's free to join, and you get paid to save your own money, to hold your own money. Word? Yeah, man, I'll look into that. You ain't got to look into it. I just told you what it is. Trust me? Yeah, go ahead. Isn't it interesting? There are people, you're on the stream right now. Many of you are on the stream right now who have at some point or another been there for someone where you literally saved their life. You might have gotten to the hospital in time. You might have gotten home and saw something traumatic happening and you were able to rescue them. You know, you might have saved them by waking them up while they were driving. They nodded out. You probably saved yourself too in that instance. But there are people, I find it interesting. We're trusted with their lives, but we're not trusted what they think is money. Isn't that crazy? You can trust me with your life, but you won't trust me with that which you think is your money. That's how warped our senses are when it comes down to wealth building or understanding truthfully who we are. So you want to be the student. You want to be that one, as the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan says, you want to be the one where he says, I wish that every believer could see me in the role of a student. The role of a student. You always have something to share if you're always studying. You always have something to show if you always follow the guide. You'll always be the perfect example when you walk perfectly behind the ones that are successful. That's me. None of that was Mr. Farrakhan. He said, I wish that every believer could see me in the role of a student. They always see me in the role as a teacher, but you can never be a good teacher unless you become a good student. And you can never be a good leader unless you become a good follower. So the steps that our wealth building community takes, the steps that are taken by Mr. Ty Best, Miss Valerie Best, Mr. Michael L. Dalco, Miss Monisha Dalco, the steps taken by Cece Mahone, Deb Nixon, Trish Mitchell, Clois Cox, the steps that are taken by Dante Taylor, and all those worthies ahead of me, even Wendell Osborne. Please. Anthony Granville, who I was trying to think of earlier, his name escaped me. I see you, Wendell, immediately I think of Anthony. Both of those men. When I walk perfect behind their steps in their perfect walk towards success, what do you think I'm going to be? That is real talk. What do you think I'm going to be? When I say to you that, yeah, I have problems like anyone else. Yeah, I got achy joints. Yeah, I put on a little weight from this, what do you call this? Sheltering in place. Sheltering in place, you eat a little more bean pie than you should. That's me. Okay. But now I balance it with fruits and salads. So the bean pies are gone, but there's plenty of salads around the house. You know, wifey wants to keep me around. You see, so, yeah, I have some challenges, but guess, I want someone to take a guess. Just put it in the chat. Guess what challenges I do not have. That's right, Sister Demawi, communication. Yeah. I may have problems. I may have challenges, but there's one area I'm not challenging at all. Guess what it is? I'll give you a hint. It's real money. I don't have money problems. My family does not have money problems. We have goals, we have dreams, but we can finance them. And that shows you how small the dreams are because I can finance them. I'm talking about now. So we have to dream bigger. You see, we don't have those kind of problems because we're following a guide. Will there be missteps? Of course there'll be missteps. Of course. Will you learn from them? We better. Because truth be told, failure is a part of developing the success. I have a mentor. He's not in the opportunity, but I've been after him. So, Brother James, I'm talking to you. Brother James is a brilliant builder and entrepreneur, hails out of Indianapolis, Indiana. Okay? He's built strip malls from the ground up. He's negotiated things that just really blows your mind. He's been a part of all kinds of things that have been a part of entertainment and sports, beverages, things of that nature. He has school uniform companies and stores. I mean, the brother does really well. Real estate, he does excitingly well. So some of you know about my passion for laundromats, coin-operated laundromats. Well, Brother James, when I first met him, he went with me to a property that I was hoping he would be willing to invest in. Now, here's the power of it. He's willing to invest in me, but he wasn't willing to invest into that particular venture, not that particular building. And what he said to me blew my mind because my model for everything was fine. He didn't have an issue with that. Look, we go to the first laundromat that I wanted to open up as with my company, Laundry Lobby. And he looked over the building and I showed him the equipment that was there. And I talked about the model that I had for it. Hey, I'm sorry, Brother Glenn Perkins. And I showed him the business model and how I was looking to approach it. And the brother looked at the building. He looked around. He looked back at me. And he said, "Brother, do you understand anything about pressure?" I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Do you know that it's the same equal amount of pressure to do small things as it is large things?" He said, it requires the same amount of pressure. It requires the same amount of pressure related to its anxiety. It requires the same amount of pressure related to its planning. It requires the same amount of pressure related to the activity surrounding it. He said it requires the same amount of pressure. He said, and that means whether it's a big project or a small project, the pressure measured to pursue it is actual one and the same. They're equal to each other. I said, that's interesting. He said, you don't get it yet. And he looked across the street and he pointed to that new strip mall that was across the street from the rinky-dink gas station attached laundromat that we were standing in front of. He said, across the street, there's storefronts that are open. And they have square footage. There's one on the window. It says they have 33,000 square feet. That's a lot for a laundromat. But then you got another one over there that's 28,000 square feet. And they got another one over there. They got phone numbers all over those storefronts where you can call them and, and put in new piping and new equipment, and you can do so and so and such. And he just lays out this whole thing. I said, yeah, but this one's right here. He said, you still don't get it. It's the same pressure. So if it's the same pressure going big as it is from remaining small, go big. Dream big. He was the first one to introduce dreaming to me as I approached Carabal's International. He said, see, because where you are right now, he said, I respect what you're doing, brother. I appreciate all you do with the Final Call newspaper and how you help the minister. He said, but I don't do small things. I do big things. I like what you have here, and I know it has the potential for people on that level, but I don't do small. He said, when you're ready to cross the street, let's talk. I couldn't be upset at all because he gave me such a wealth of information then. It was powerful. It was powerful, right? So it really came to life as I came into wealth building because I understood the value and the power of building and amassing wealth. We don't waste money and we don't waste time. I say more to people in a day than I probably have in the entire 10, 15 years prior to Carabal's. Every day I have something to talk about. Every day I have an opportunity to share. Every day I'm introducing somebody to something new that's new to them. You see? And that's the way it is for you because there's 8 billion people in the world and you have one of these. Oh, where's it? Oh, finished charging? I was going to show off. Give me 1 second, and we're going to close out. I was going to show off the other one, Sister Debbie. I don't have the CEO phone that you have, but here's my Impulse phone. I'll work from it. It has a private key. Look at that. All my information I need right here. Right here. And then I just insert it back in there when I'm ready to get busy. Oh, man, you just showing it off. That thing don't work. I'm sorry. What does that say? Tell me this don't work. It has 3 phases it runs on. You can run it on a SIM card. You can run it on Wi-Fi. Or you can run it on our own blockchain. That's right. It's reading my key right now. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Everything is there. And it's private. And here's the beauty. I could lose the phone and nobody can get through the key. I can remove the key. I can lose the key. I'll be able to deactivate the key because it came with 2 others. Same for the laptop. You'll learn more about that. You'll learn more about that. So I think I went through enough of my rant. I hope it was meaningful. I have 3 people I need to get back to from 4:30 on. And then I'll be on the training, the huddle, 7:30 this evening, www.goldrocks.info. And then I'll be at the 9 o'clock presentation this evening with Mr. Roger Williams at www.goldrocks.info. And then I'll be there for the open mic with Ty and Val. Whoa, Monica, my little sister's on the stream. Hey, sis, I love you. I hope you enjoyed your birthday. We all quarantined and whatnot. Okay, I turned this personal. That means I got to get up the stream and call her. All right. I love you, Monty. So, listen, I'll be on those presentations and bring your teams. The other part of my success is the fact that I bring everybody with me. When I first went to my first Let's Go weekend, Brother Carlito and I traveled Let's Go weekend 8. And I arrived with 14 people. By the time September came, I came back with 64 people. And by the time April came this year, I've had more than 2,000 people in my downline. Your business grows from event to event. The fire they stay stoked under those that you introduce to this opportunity, from event to event, opportunity to opportunity, and it's free and clear. Listen, many of you are sitting home right now and don't know how you're going to make it through with the last few weeks of your unemployment check, or the last few weeks, because many of you have been displaced. Many of you have been laid off. I saw what happened in the hotel industry last week. I have an opportunity for you. Some of you are sick and on disability. We have an opportunity for you. And guess what? We don't want your money. All it does, it begins with a free gold savings account. Stay plugged in, folks. I will see us all this evening again on www.goldrocks.info. I'll be there and listening to the huddle with Team Union at 7:45 p.m. Eastern, and then the 9 p.m. presentation Eastern with Mr. Roger Williams, and then again with Mr. Ty and Val Best on the open mic, the Freedom Call tonight, y'all, 10 p.m. Eastern. That may seem like a lot for you all, and those of you who aren't a part of the opportunity, don't worry about it. You will be. It'll be on many of our personal Facebook pages. You know, those things that can be shared, it'll be there. But if you go to www.runtowealth.info, you'll see enough right there to make you free indeed. Wa alaikum salam, Brother Supreme X, Fard Money in the house. Boy, his stream was fire today. And look, I know someone was looking, because this is what happened. Brother, some of you know him as Jaquez, but this Brother Supreme X, he and his wife, Sister Yatura, Team Fard Money, amazing team of organized gold savers, right? Serious revolutionaries. Look, he said that all the officers would be in jail. There'd be all kind of indictments. There'd be all kind of police reform. Right now, if LeBron James said, I ain't playing another bit of basketball, and walked off the court, and the teams walked with him, or the players walked with him, and you'll see change overnight. Because these folks are chasing what they think is money. They're trying to restart and reboot their economies. Now, after he said that, when no one else was talking, now NBA players are being a little more verbose, and they're sharing more and more about their disdain for what's happened this week thus far with all the police terror in our communities. Brother Zach, good to see you. Hey, family, y'all welcome Brother Zach Andrews, a new wealth builder on the stream. You're welcome, brother, welcome. You know, Brother Dinar Muhammad, welcome. Brother Kadeem Amir, welcome. Brother Allen, welcome. Boy, we growing. All right, family, peace and power. I'll see us soon. Assalamu alaikum. Forward.